Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And today, inshallah, we're going to move to the singular pronouns, personal pronouns. Ana, I am. Anta, you or you are, as a male. Anti, you, feminine, singular, or you are. Ana, anta, anti. Huwa, that's third person, he or it, which is masculine. He is or it is, masculine. Here, she is or it is, feminine. So ana, anta, anti, huwa, hiya. Ana, anta, anti, huwa, hiya. Ana, anta, anti, huwa, hiya. Now, interrogative particle, the question word, man, who, or who is. Man. Hada, this is, if you're referring to a masculine object or a male human. Hada, this or this is. Hadihi, this or this is, feminine version. Now combine the man with hada and hadihi. Man hada. Man hadihi. Man hada. Who is this? Man hadihi. Who is this? Feminine singular. One more time. Ana, anta, anti. Huwa, hiya. Man. هذا هذه. من هذا؟ من هذه. Now you can play around with it to say, how do you say then, who are you? Man anta or man anti. Who is he? Man huwa. Man here. Who is she? Ana, anta, anti, huwa, hiya, man, هذا, هذه, man هذا, man هذه. That's very good. Right, now the next phrase we're going to be dealing with is hal. And hal is very interesting. You use hal when you don't have specific particle for a question. Like you have how, which is kaifa, when is mata, how much is kam, and so on. But when in the absence of any a particular particle to ask a question, we use hal. And that's why hal can mean do, does, is, are, has, have, had, in terms of the question. The way you use hal is by putting hal before a positive statement or a phrase, and that would turn it into appropriate question to that statement. For instance, you have tuhibbu shay, you like tea, and that is addressing to a male. Tuhibbu shay, you like tea. Now if you put hal there, becomes, do you like tea? Do you, male singular, like tea? هل هذا, هذا, as we learned previously, means this is, or this. Now if you put hal before it, it becomes, is this. So هل هذا Adam, is this Adam? هل هذه نادية, is this Nadia? Because هذه on its own meaning this is, addressing to a singular female. هل هذه نادية, is this Nadia? For instance, if I say anta, anta means you or you are. Now put hal before anta, becomes hal anta, are you, and then the name. Are you Imran? Hal anta Imran? Hal anta Faisal? Hal anti Nadia? Hal anti Zainab? And so on. So that's the way hal is used. It's used only when you don't have a specific particle to ask that question, and then the hal becomes handy to do that. Okay? For instance, if I want to say, do you like tea, speaking to a female, how do you convert to hibbu, which is addressed to a male singular, to a female singular? Can you remember the ending to a verb which is talking to, directed at a single female? Is ina ending. You will say هل تحبين الشاي, هل تحبين قهوة, and so on. So that's your hal for you. Inshallah, we would continue after this, inshallah. Right, on page 55, we'll be doing sukun, dealing with sukun. And before that, let me just recap what has been done already regarding the vowels, short vowels and long vowels. Well, we've done fatha a, kesra I, dhamma u. We've done the a sounds, lengthening, and the e sounds with ya, and we've done oo sound. Also, you have done your tenween, which is doubling. You double the short vowel, becomes an and in and un. That is your an, in, un. Double dhamma, un. So, short vowel, long vowels, doubling. Now we need to do sukun. Sukun is a small circle placed on top of a letter to indicate there is no vowel, absence of any vowel, either short or long vowel, or tenween, none. And let's see the impact of that sukun once it's placed on top of a letter. Let's start with a letter, is a simple letter, like sin. Letter sin, if you put fatha sa, kesra si, dhamma su. Double fatha san, double kesra sin, double dhamma sun. Lengthening sa, si, su, but nothing on it. Let's put sukun. That small circle placed on sukun, on sin now, the job of that is, the impact is, cut the sound to a minimum, the beginning of the name of the letter itself only. Instead of sin, become s. By putting sukun on top of sin, reduces it to s. If you put it on jim, becomes j. Put it on mir, m, on nun, n, and so on. On hamza, glottal kind of stop. Like here in Britain, for instance, some people in the part of London, when they say bottle, instead of pronouncing the T at the end, they say bo-o, bo-o. They glottal stop. That's what sukun does to hamza. Now, let's practice with some other letter apart from the sin. Or I will do, there are two unique sounds with sukun that will come after I finish this. So we have s. If I put it on ba, becomes b. So beginning of the ba. Put it on lam, l, l. Now, let's try this. If I put ba with fatha and lam with sukun. Pronounce this together. Becomes bal. Bal. Sukun cannot come at the beginning because sukun always needs a vowel before it. So you always find sukun preceded with or by another vowel, either kesra or dhamma, or you will say it. So in this case, bal. As soon as you see sukun, connect it with the previous vowel, the nearest vowel to sukun, to the right. So bal in this case. Let's try another one. If I say that's become shur. Link it, connect it. Shur. So bal, shur. What about this lam and nun? La and sukun on the nun. Try it out for me. La and lan. So bal, shur, lan. So that is you can say bil, shur, share, and so on. So you just take the sound of the vowel, link it with the sukun. Right, so we've done that now. Let's now isolate another sound for sukun for you with on waw and ya. If we have sukun on letter waw, remember sukun on waw means ow. Ow, like an ow. So if I put ba, you will say, this is the ba, this is ow. Bow. Bow. Mau. Sow. Ow. You cannot go wrong if you remember the sukun on top of wow. Remember the sound ow, and then link it with the vowel just before it. Bow, lao, jow, sow, mau, and so on. What about if we have sukun on ya? So ya, the ya, of course that's the, remember it comes like this, that's the ya in the middle. Remember the sukun on the ya means I. So I, for instance, Jim, that's J, that's ja, that's A, J. I, you have I. This lengthening, extension is like another letter is coming. For instance, if I say I and I write this. Try that. I-na. Aina. That's aina. So, sukun on any other letters, it means you pronounce the beginning of that letter like s, sh, sh, b, m, n, l, and so on. But when you have sukun on waw, it means ow. If you have sukun on ya, means I. Now, before we continue and visit book, again, the book, page 55, to reinforce what we just learned about sukun, let me just quickly mention this point. Waw with sukun, I said before, meaning ow sound. But however, occasionally you find waw carrying Hamza on his head. That's Hamza, could be carry Sukun. In this case, Hamza is just using the waw as a chair. Waw will have no impact whatsoever. You will consider as if that waw does not exist. It is there, and the reason will be discovered later in the series. Now, Hamza has habit of, he being lazy, just want to sit on somebody. Very rarely you find Hamza on his own just sitting on the floor. It happens, but most of the time you find Hamza this way. Either Hamza will be on the alif. When Hamza is on alif, you will have fatha or dhamma or sukun on it. But when you have Hamza when you have alif with Hamza, under the alif, there's only one vowel you're allowed to put, and that's kasra, E. Also, Hamza can be found on waw. It could be carrying sukun. It could also be carrying dhamma, U. Hamza also can be found sitting on the shape like this, which is like a shape of ya or bao in the middle, but no dot, sitting right on top of them, like that. It could be carrying kesra, it could be carrying fatha. Also, sometimes this shape, which is a ya shape, but with no dots, this is not a ya because it's ya shape with no dot. Hamza could be sitting right on his tail, like that. And also, of course, Hamza can be sitting on its own, on the floor. But most of the time, you find Hamza riding upon alif, or below the alif, or above waw, or above ya shape kind of thing. In that situation, don't worry about the chair, just go for the vowel. Hamza, there's no particularly unique sound for Hamza. The glottal kind of stop. You just go for the sound. If it is a, so just say a. If it is u, just say u. If it is sukun, say glottal stop. If it's e, say e. Here, just say u. And it's like that. So, remember, we will explain why Hamza is sitting on that or in this way. That will come later in the series. Okay? I thought I'd just mention that to you to save you panicking when we go to page 55 and you suddenly see Hamza sitting on the waw and we are not actually saying the waw in any shape or form. So they are not exist, just Hamza carrying the sound. We're now on page 55 of the book, and I've already explained to you how the sukun works. On this page, we're going to apply the principle we've just learned by going through the reading. On this page, you will see that each letter is represented here and sukun on them with link to either fatha before it or kasra before it or dhamma before it. And they are not really a complete word. It's just part of word in most cases. And that's why you see some letter written in the middle with an extension in anticipation there will be another letter after that. So let's start from the top. Here you have ba and lam. Lam has sukun. We know what's the sound of lam with sukun will be l, and the ba, bel. Qaf kesra, and then fa here with sukun, qif. بل قف. كاف ضمة نون سكون كن. كاف فتحة ميم سكون كم. با كسرة همزة سكون ب. That's glottal stop. ب. ميم ضمة همزة سكون م. كاف فتحة واو سكون cow. لام فتحة واو سكون low. You've already learned that sukun on wow gives you the sound of ow, like an ow. And the sukun on ya is giving you the sound of I. So we have cow, low, ha fatha waw sukun how, ba fatha yaw sukun bay, lam fatha yaw sukun lay, mim fatha yaw sukun may. Now let's deal with this table. Reading across the page. Kaf fatha hamza sukun ka, ba kasra hamza sukun bi, ba dhamma hamza sukun bu, fatha on alif, yani alif fatha, ba sukun ab, ha كسرة با سكون حب، جيم ضمة با سكون جب، ميم فتحة تا سكون مت، واو كسرة تا سكون وت، ياو ضمة تا سكون يت، كاف فتحة ثا سكون كث، ألف كسرة ثاء سكون إث، عين ضمة ثاء سكون عث، واو فتحة جيم سكون وج، را كسرة جيم سكون رج، حاء ضمة جيم سكون حج، باء فتحة حاء سكون بح، ميم كسرة حاء سكون مح، جيم ضمة حاء سكون جح، باء فتحة خاء سكون بخ، ألف كسرة خاء سكون إخ، نون ضمة خاء سكون نخ، قاف فتحة دال سكون قد، كاف كسرة دال سكون كد، صاد ضمة دال سكون صد، جيم فتحة ذال سكون جذ، باء كسرة ذال سكون بذ، خاء ضمة ذال سكون خذ، دال فتحة راء سكون در، سين كسرة راء سكون سر، ميم ضمة راء سكون مر، يا فتحة زين سكون يز، جيم كسرة زين سكون جز، فاء ضمة زين سكون فز، باء فتحة سين سكون بس، قاف كسرة سين سكون قس، غين ضمة سين سكون غص، نون فتحة شين سكون نش، قاف كسرة شين سكون قش، راء ضمة شين سكون رش، ألف with حمزة فتحة صاد سكون أص، ميم كسرة صاد سكون مس، عين ضمة صاد سكون عص، فاء فتحة ضاد سكون فض، ألف كسرة ضاد سكون إض، ميم ضمة ضاد سكون مض، سين فتحة طاء سكون سط، قاف كسرة فاء كسرة طاء سكون فط، ساء فتحة طاء سكون سط، فاء كسرة طاء سكون فط، لام ضمة طاء سكون لط، عين فتحة ظا سكون عظ. ألف كسرة ظا سكون إذ. عين ضمة ظا سكون عظ. شين فتحة عين سكون شع. باء كسرة عين سكون بع. شين ضمة عين سكون شع. ميم فتحة غين سكون مغ. ضاد كسرة غين سكون ضغ. باء ضمة غين سكون بغ. دال فتحة فاء سكون دف. حاء كسرة فاء سكون حف. سين ضمة فاء سكون صف. فاء فتحة قاف سكون فق. ثين ثا فا فتحة قاف سكون فق. ثا كسرة قاف سكون ثق. حاء ضمة قاف سكون حق. را فتحة كاف سكون رك. فا كسرة كاف سكون فك. را ضمة كاف سكون رك. با فتحة لام سكون بل. نون كسرة لام سكون نل. فا ضمة لام سكون فل. نون فتحة ميم سكون نم. ميم كسرة ميم سكون مم. قاف ضمة ميم سكون قم. لام فتحة نون سكون لن. قاف كسرة نون سكون قن. جيم ضمة نون سكون جن. سين فتحة ها سكون سه. صاد كسرة ها سكون صه. ميم ضمة ها سكون مه. ألف همزة ألف. ألف همزة فتحة. واو سكون أو. باء فتحة ياو سكون بي. End of page 55.